Alright, what's up guys? Damien here. It's Saturday, I think March 28th, like Portland, Oregon. I'm in Columbia Park right now. Just deciding to go for a ride. It's been about a week since I've ridden. Well, I took a bike ride, I guess, about 3 days ago. See a friend, one friend. Otherwise, I've just been kind of riding around the local spot. Before that, I should say. But anyway, my point is, it's been about 2 weeks. This is the second Saturday, I guess. People have been inside for a week to 2 weeks, to 3 weeks actually, depending on your situation. Mine's been closer to 3 because I work in the live production industry. Of course, no one wants to be around anybody else, then that sort of makes my job kind of disappear for now. But I'll be good for a little bit. And yeah, this is not going to be a normal e-bike video. It's more just I wanted to take a ride and bring you guys along with me, since I'm probably only going to do, really infrequent journeys like this, just to be safe. I am practicing safe. I'll be wearing a mask for a lot of this journey. Not like a real, like, it's just a balaclava. At least it's a face covering. It's windproof. I don't know if that matters. Probably not. But the point is, I am going to be like still distancing myself, and this isn't going to be like a racy video, even though I might end up going a little fast sometimes. It's just kind of I'm going to take a look at Portland, head down towards the center of town, and probably avoid downtown because I just don't want to see that right now, or be there for that matter. Then just loop back around, try to avoid people, but check out some cool, see what's going on out there. Hopefully the wind's not too bad. I ended up losing my old wind cover thing when I was on my bike tour to San Francisco, and I just cut off like a piece of the foamy mic, like a SM58 cover, and tack that on there, so hopefully it's doing something. I'm headed directly into the wind right now, so it'll change once I get off Willamette for sure. Just coming up. Anyway, just coming along for the ride. That's why I'm making the video. I've been watching this guy, Terry B. He's been filming New York City. He does great riding videos. He's kind of famous for his Hotline series, which I highly recommend. I'll post his latest video in the comments or in the description. I haven't decided, whatever. And then you can see, choose his Hotline playlist if you want to see some extreme cycling. But anyway, so I found myself watching his video. Here, I'm going to slow down so the wind won't be as bad. Watch some of his videos, and I would like to see the city, and I feel pretty disconnected. I think it's important to get exercise. That's what I'm doing, and just kind of doing what I absolutely love to do. I've been riding for every day for 7 years, so it's hard for me to just sit and do nothing, and I want to get some exercise today. Which brings me to a cool subject. I got myself a torque sensing bottom bracket for my bike. So you can kind of, it's pretty sweet to use once you get used to it. I don't think this one's, I mean, maybe it's just like further tweaking that I have to do, but it's not like, I would say, the best. It wasn't what I was thinking it was going to be. So yeah, I've basically been using a combination of throttle with auto cruise off, right? Because auto cruise on just like totally screws everything up. Auto cruise off, and I'm basically starting out using the throttle, right? Or if I'm like trying to pass somebody or like just have immediate response on my bike, basically, right? But then when I'm just kind of pedaling along, I'm using a combination of my gears and the torque sensor to distribute power with like an up-down switch over here. I don't know if you can see that. And it's, I don't know, it's hard to say, like in ways it's definitely more efficient, which is why I'm using it. But in other ways, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's unpredictable, whereas I'm really used to the predictability of the throttle. Distancing myself, but I am trying to stay active. And so for me, going on a long bike ride, checking things out, it's not only good for me physically, which helps battle this disaster, but also mentally, because this is kind of my meditation time. I'm actually sort of forfeiting that by making the video, just because I'm not able to just kind of go into my thoughts, but I guess I am still. Sort of ranting to myself while I'm riding, and you guys get to at least see what Portland looks like. This is a Saturday, like I said. To me, it seems kind of busy for a pandemic Saturday. But I guess still so far noticeably less. I think, you know, going into restaurants and bars and like, I think those are the types of things, you know, spaces with a lot of people. I think those are the dangerous spots. But just being out, especially in the rain and like on routes that aren't really traveled very much. I'm not like on a highway. You know, people are still driving to work. And I feel like if it is if it is able to be airborne, like being inside your car on a highway following a whole bunch of people in their cars on the highway isn't the best way to go either, right? Passing under the highway. I had a couple of I had an interesting conversation recently, as well as just like a video on YouTube by Russell Brand. But firstly, it was a message from a friend about like this Hopi message that was given out or talked about, I guess, and relating to the ways of like, I don't know, dealing with impermanence and disaster, or like uncertainty, I guess, maybe a better word. So yeah, I'm gonna avoid downtown, and I was curious to see, sorry, I'll get back to what I was saying, but I was curious to see what Northwest, which is like right there, I wanted to see what that looked like, because it's like the wealthier neighborhood, I guess, and I wanted to see how many people were out in restaurants and stuff, but I don't know. I think my judgment tells me to avoid that, and instead I'll head up to kind of like upper downtown. But the ride itself, I'm gonna make like a big loop basically, but not actually hit anything like downtown, or maybe a little bit of downtown. But the point is, like, you'll be able to see a lot of the what's happening without me being part of it. That makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it makes sense because I ride all the fucking time. It's definitely quiet though so far. Very, very quiet. I might swing back up through uptown, I'll say. It might be a good idea. Because I don't want to show the same thing twice, so I gotta make a loop. So I think I know how I'll do that. It can be the most entertaining, visually speaking. Right, so I don't know, Russell Brand had a really good interview as well on YouTube. Not interview, but it's like just a video he posted. I don't know, I like his perspective. I think we do need to take a look at what's happening. I think turning a blind eye or like grasping at straws per se isn't the way to go. I'm not saying anybody that I know is, but I think that we're all susceptible because of how much misinformation and like just, I don't know. It's like, I know people want hope, but I think when you look at something and take it for face value, you can end up disappointed later because it's untrue versus like maybe now is a really good time for us to like start taking a look at what's true for us, true for like what we actually, how we want to participate in this, what kind of people we are. What actual change like would look like if it does. And are we afraid of that change? Waterfront and all the cherry blossoms. You can see that down there. There's the wind again. Oh, it's really fast. Yeah, I think I'll go through Uptown. I think that's a good idea. So I'm gonna go up here to the bridge and then go across. She's got a backpack on today. I met a lady that you probably saw on the camera. People always put like scarves on her and blankets and stuff, different things, but she's got a backpack on today. Okay, so that was Eastside Esplanade. This is Hawthorne Bridge. So this shows how many bikes have crossed today. So I am number 148 or 149. 149. That's really low. Like normally it's in, you know, over like 1,500 maybe. I would say, especially on a Saturday. Alright, mask back on. We go through downtown. Actually DJ'd next to that big elk right there for Occupy Portland. Or Occupy Wall Street, I should say, but it was occupied in Portland. Out of my 1967 Volkswagen bus. That was pretty fun, I guess. Wish it was on for better reasons, but it was kind of a fun way to express my thoughts about the protest. And they asked me to do like a sunrise set, which is pretty cool. I have a picture of that somewhere. I'll see if I can find it and throw it in the video. But all right. So yeah, I'm gonna continue up. I'm gonna continue up to north and cross over and just sort of dip into northwest. But I think it'll also be the safest loop. Yeah, back to a little bit of bike stuff. Talking about my torque sensing bottom bracket. It's kind of hard to get used to. It isn't exactly what I was hoping for. I was kind of hoping it would just turn it into this like bionic machine, like, you know, responding to me a lot better. The unpredictability of its response, at least right now, since I haven't played with it too much, it's not exactly what I would want. How I'm using it, using the throttle to start, plus then the pedal assist for what I'm riding. That's been a really useful combination, and it would definitely be useful for touring, which is why I put it on there in the first place, to basically give me like a whole bunch more range by forcing myself to use my own pedal power. I feel like it's easy to get lazy. It's easy to get lazy with like a throttle only. So this is like top of Pearl District. I'm just curious to see how many people you can see out from the edge of that area. didn't end up turning on Johnson. One, because I was following those cyclists and I didn't really feel like following them anymore. And two, there was a whole bunch of people up there, because I know it's like a pretty heavily congested area. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. Thought about, well, actually, yeah, you know what, maybe I will do that. Yep, I'm gonna do that. I don't want to loop back around the way I was going. I'm gonna do this side of Pearl District on the outside. So we're gonna briefly cross 23rd, also known as Trendy 3rd. It's probably one of the bigger shopping streets with like tons of restaurants, you know. We're gonna briefly cross it next to my favorite coffee place. Not because it's trendy. I mean, it is trendy, but that's not why I like it. It's just when I'm coming to the park, I like to go that way. But I was thinking about going up through the forest. Actually, it's like there's a way to go all the way back and around, but I can't make the video that long. I will make that route though. That's a good route if I do another long ride here soon and film it, because it's like the 17-mile, pretty bumpy, but yet still way easily rideable road that a lot of people jog on. It goes all the way back across to Old Germantown Road. And then, you know, to the cathedral, or sorry, the St. John's Bridge, which is where I'm headed. I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna go around, so it's gonna be basically a full loop. Oh, there's my coffee shop. That building right there, that house. Not stopping though. Here's Northwest Trendy 3rd. Looks pretty dead. Good. Good. Well, it makes me feel better. And since we're going this way, I can show, I think it was the second building. Yeah, second building I ever lived in Portland. It's totally changed now. Like, this neighborhood has always been really super nice, but that was kind of like the last stand of like just market skyrocketing and like, so you can already see it coming up. It's this huge building up on the right. It's not blocked up though. This used to be a gas station I'd always go to. They tore that down. And not a gas station, but a convenience store. Building some huge monstrosity of a living space right there, of course. This is the Fairmont Apartments. I live right up here in 101. 110, sorry. Oh shit. I almost slipped out right there. That was crazy. Anyway, that's where I lived. Used to be a lot of, I don't know, this building right up here, this huge ass building. There was a bunch of offices in there, but as far as I know, it's actually vacant right now. Speaking of though, speaking of vacant, I'm gonna stop and check my wheel really quick. Something feels squirrely. I'm not pause the video, so I'll try to make this quick. Else the whole data thing doesn't work. Unless I like render it first and then do all the chops, but that's kind of annoying. Let's see here. What do we got? Feels solid. I don't know. Nuts aren't loose, hopefully. Oh, okay. Front wheel good. Ooh. Back wheel. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, whatever. Maybe I'm just feeling stuff. I do have to get my, true my wheels, but it's not that big a deal. I'm hoping the highway is not going to be busy. I'm actually going to be traveling along the highway until we get to St. John's Bridge, which is pretty awesome. I don't think I filmed it coming back before. So now people know how to get, here's the back way to St. John's Bridge from downtown, more or less. I go this route sometimes on my way home from work, but a lot of times I just feel like kind of seeing the city a little bit more. This is kind of the, back way. And there's a bike lane. Bike lane the whole way. And it should be quiet. I mean, I don't see the highway being busy. I figured I would take advantage of, seriously, like probably the one time that this highway has not been just like crazy busy with just tons of traffic on a Saturday, or any other day for that matter. There's still trucks out, but you can see Forest Park up there. That trail I was talking about goes all the way through that whole park. You can take that for like 17 miles all the way around. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of wet, so it's going to be muddy there. And I don't have a tube with me because I forgot to buy some. I have like a whole bunch of patches, but I don't have a tube, so there's like, some pretty sharp rocks and giant branches and stuff. So I'm just playing it safe. I don't want to be stuck in the forest and walk my bike home tonight. That wouldn't make for a very good video, would it? Or maybe it would. I guess you guys think that was funny. I don't know. Hopefully not. It happened to my friend when I was riding with him. I laughed, but it was because I had a tube with me, so I just gave it to him. I've been riding with a couple friends lately that have had no ability to repair their bike. And then, I don't know, a couple weeks ago I noticed that my tool bag was missing off my bike. Someone jacked all my tools, basically. Luckily my Leatherman wasn't in there, but it was like, just all the little stuff, like spoke wrench and tire levers. I had 2 tubes. Pliers, bike tool, just a bunch of stuff. It was like, and the bag, which was waterproof, my seat bag. It's my fault, I guess, for leaving it on my bike, but I don't even know when it got stolen. I couldn't even tell you. It had to have been when I was downtown, but so I ended up having to buy a whole new set, which wasn't too bad, but it's like, man, I just gave you like the best gift if you're like riding a bike. dicks. I had those tools forever. I had like probably 6 years. As soon as I put them in a seat bag. Of course, I bought another seat bag, but this one's a lot harder to get off, that's for sure. I don't think people would take the time. The other one was really easy, and that was my. But this one, it would take a little bit of time to get off. Plus, I'm not keeping nearly all my stuff in there anymore. Oh, pretty quiet. Very nice, very nice. Oh, as we're nearing up to St. John's Bridge, I can go over some stats from you. Oh, I forgot to restart my trip counter. Damn it. But this is kind of what I've been normally riding like anyway for a while. For the last, I've been riding for 6 hours and 30 minutes on this clock. Average human watts have been 81. 18 watt hours per mile is my average over however many miles it's been. That was my trip odometer. Max speed's always wrong. Let's see. 93 miles on this clock. Yeah, which isn't bad. I think my average before I put this torque sensor on there, I think my average was around 30. And you know, city stuff, like city riding, like, and it's not because it's like the torque sensor isn't making my bike more efficient. It's like making me more efficient, which is like when I was on my tour, I was averaging 14.3 watt hours per mile. I think that was over a course of 900 miles or something, 900 and so. And I was kind of playing around the other day, and I got it down to, well, 5.6 was my lowest. Like, right? I mean, I don't think I would be going these speeds by any means, right? Like, I'm actually going faster than I would be going at plus touring. In general, I should say. Maybe not right now. This is like probably how fast I'd be going right now. But yeah, so I got down to anywhere between 5 and 10 was my average for a bunch of different rides I took, using a combination of throttle and just tour speeds, you know, trying to use all my gears I have that work. Some of them don't work. And just figuring out what I could get. What am I, you know. But it was because, damn it, before all of this started, I was planning on taking a short freaking coast trip, right? Which I am going to take, by the way. Like, it's getting close. I would say probably in the next week. The weekend before I was gonna go, it snowed. And then after that, it was like cold and windy for 3 or 4 days. So the day I was leaving, or I was going to leave, which was like a Monday, 2 weeks ago, right? So 2 Mondays ago, I was ready to go. And it was a really nice day. But it was just like right when, like my friend who I'd seen the Saturday beforehand, I think, or Friday or something, he had just got laid off, kind of. That's when they really started talking about social distancing and, you know, that's just, you know, people were hoarding toilet paper. That was literally the weekend before I was leaving to go on like a week-long bike tour. Which was basically just going to be like, I was going to ride to the coast and then head north through Washington and just kind of ride around for a while because I felt like I didn't have anything better to do because I already lost all of all of my gigs that I had, all the events that I had scheduled for the rest of the month just completely went away. Like they all canceled on me. So, I mean, and that's just how it is with everybody in the industry right now. It's the lake over here. We're right on the highway. Uh-oh, you might have a flat, folks. I was kind of worried about that. Oh, we do have a flat, god damn it. Fuck me. Well, I'm gonna fix this and get back on the road, but I'm gonna stop the video and hopefully you'll see it in a second. Alright, so status update. There's fucking this guy. There's a hole right there, and then a hole right there. Which is great. I mean, it's funny because I've only gotten screws on this fucking road. Because it's like an industrial highway. So, but I've got a patch kit. It should be patched up in a sec. Alright, so status update. It's about 20 minutes later. And I walked from down there, and I'm headed up the hill and across the bridge right there, and hopefully to a bike shop because I bought a patch kit off Amazon, this guy right here, and it doesn't come with glue. So I have 100 patches and no glue. So, what a turn of events, you know what I mean? So yeah, whatever, I guess I'm going for a little bit of a hike today as well, and I'm just walking my bike, of course, and hopefully a cyclist will stop and help me out, or I will I'll just make my way to there's a bike shop across the bridge, and hopefully they're open. Otherwise I'm probably 3 miles from my house. So anyway, so I'm on St. John's Bridge right now, and so to put in perspective where I've been, you can see a train way off in the distance over there. That corner leads up this mountain pass up here, and then onto the bridge. So I've been, there's like a white building behind where you can see the train, and that's basically where I started. So yeah, getting a little bit of hiking today. But yeah, no biggie. Hopefully the bike shop is open, and it's been all good. Hey, let's go.
My bike briefly, and then you can make sure that I get your channel. Do you have a card with you or anything? Or I'll write it down.
No, it's pretty easy. So PDX.
I better write it too, because you know I'm excited right now. I want to remember.
Yeah, it's all good. So this is your bike. This is John, by the way.
Hey, what's happening?
He kind of just happened to be coming over here to work on my bike. So I walked across the bridge, and the guy, Ben, that owns this bike shop, Block Bikes, came out and was able to sell me a tube and some patches and things. But so yeah, John here builds e-bikes also.
Yeah, Rotos Performance e-bike, you know, on YouTube, like everything.
Yep, I'll put the link right there too.
Full suspension, giant stance, Luna Cycle. I kind of work with these folks. They built this bike also. This bike's amazing. I keep a throttle on mine. So, yeah, I like drag racing.
Yeah, you have the same throttle I have too.
Not with high heels.
And you said it's a 48 volt, and then probably
I prefer 48s just for right now, the reliability.
And to fit in the frame too.
This one is a large frame, and so I was able to fit the battery into the frame, which for me is important. I think it looks great. It performs awesome. This one right now, it's out of the legal limit. It's for private lands, 38 miles per hour right now, the way it is. Yeah. But also it's got a large front sprocket, and these, I just changed these out, you know.
Is that a Lecky? Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's a Lecky. I like to have a good sprocket, you know, I don't want to steal one. You know? So, and I'm not climbing hills right now, I'm going for speed, you know.
Right, exactly. And you're running, what is that, a 3 or 2 by 3 by? No, so it'd be a 1 by 9 or 9
Oh,
speed?
say again?
What's your like rear cassette?
Yeah, it's 9, and it's the standard cassette.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to build custom ones right now. I'm making wind chimes out of these. Nice project. You take these apart, string them on stuff to make awesome sound.
That's awesome.
You'll see it on my YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, something to do when you're twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah.
But right now we're building custom cassettes for e-bikes because we really only need 3 gears, but we need ideal chain lines. So take the rivets out, rearrange these, put spacers in, and put your ideal gears right in the ideal chain line, and forget this down here, and bring these little ones more up here, and then there's not
actually a really good idea.
Because all this power at the mid-drive, it can tend to skip.
Yeah.
The long chain seems to help because it wraps around a little bit more, but that's one challenge sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Ideally, of course, you would have a internal Da Vinci hub or something like that, but you know, you got to make do.
Yeah, totally. That's a really good idea, though. I never thought of that. One of the things about
look into that. We're gonna do it shortly here. Hopefully, I get more time. This is my 30-year anniversary of my other business, so this is my sabbatical, and I want to build more of these bikes. I specialize in custom bikes, exit vehicles, fat tire, all conditions, tactical vehicles. You know, maybe night vision even, but we don't know where the future's going. But we want to be, you know, prepared for it and be funky.
Exactly.
Getting there.
Oh yeah, man.
So
awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was good to meet you, John. And yeah, I'll put your channel so everyone else see it. And yeah, go check him out. Incredible dude, and his bike looks sick and looks like he's prepared. So.
Well, you gotta get on high ground, both spiritually, mentally, and physically. You know.
Yeah, exactly. But, I'll film those cards too that you gave me, the ones over there. I'll put those in this video as well, so they can see those.
I appreciate it. You know, sterilize as you wish. Yeah. What's your e-bike channel?
So that was cool. Met that guy John. That was an awesome interaction. So back on the road. See, I really knew it. I knew I felt something squirrely in my wheel. And it ended up being a huge ass screw, but hey, it all led to a little hike. Led to me getting not only a patch kit, but also a couple tubes. Got to meet a cool dude. So yeah, check out his channel, guys. I think that was a sweet bike he had. That's actually like probably the platform I would choose if I wasn't choosing a hardtail. But I do like having a huge battery, so that's kind of my, you know, if you want long range, it is difficult to fit a battery in a full suspension frame. Oh shit. All right. Not the ride I was expecting today, but I certainly enjoyed it. And if you end up buying that patch kit, just remember it doesn't come with glue. It was pretty frustrating to have 100 patches. 100 patches and nothing to use it with, because you have to have that like galvanizing glue stuff. Hey, I wouldn't have met John, and you wouldn't have some more content to watch while you're sitting around. So I'm actually gonna be leaving the video here, I think. Nice conclusion. Not walking home, which would have been a kind of a bad end to a pretty decent day. Not too bad, you know. I'd live, of course, but you know. I'd have to get a tube, I'd have to get glue. Saw a little bit of Portland, and you're gonna see what happens when you don't have a patch kit. Or you have a super patch kit without glue. And get to meet people along the way. It's kind of funny, it's just, that's how it happens. The moral of this story is, don't get down, you know, try to stay positive during this crazy time. you end up having a lot of cool experiences and meet some cool people. Stay positive, you'll always end up with help.